Good afternoon. This is Randy Cox, and I've been uh, involved with Tom Paladino here for going on 3 months now, and I've shared about what he's doing once before, and I get the incredible opportunity once again. And I got an email from him today. His website's selfhealgo.com. His phone number to be contacted at is 805-364-3051. And what he's been doing is remote scalar energy pathogen cleanse. And what I got today that I was treated for was 3 standardized scalar energy treatments, which were scalar energy pathogenic cleanse, scalar energy chakra balancing, and scalar energy nutrient therapy. This scalar energy originates from the sun of our solar system, as well as the stars of the universe. Hence, every man, woman, and child lives in a sea of scalar energy, as this universal life energy is omnipresent. In essence, the scalar energy treatments that you are receiving are similar to the sunlight and starlight that you have been immersed in throughout your life. Thus, scalar energy is natural and beneficial energy that is capable of improving your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Greetings, Tom.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you, and good afternoon to you.
Thank you very much. How have you been?
I've been excellent. Researching, hard at it. I love research. You could lock me in a library and I'd be happy.
Boy, howdy. I lock in my man cave and do all the studying and go to libraries myself and listen to telecasts, and it's a great passion.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Boy, howdy. It's exciting in these days and times that things are going to get simpler and better and far more beneficial, and not just healing symptoms on many levels. And I do observe how busy you've been, and it was really interesting to see you were. Am I correct that you was actually interviewed 3 times in 1 week by an individual we know?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank God, frankly, I have been giving a lot of radio interviews. That's the only way I can have my information get out to the general public, if you will. I'm one man. I'm not attached to any university or corporation, so I'm at this alone. And I need mass media. The only way that I can get my research out again is through radio, TV, and essentially the internet.
Indeed. I'm going to soon have I know I question you as to the legitimacy of having gotten written medical reports on the processes that you've offered to others. And I recently had a extensive blood test done, and I'm real excited to be reporting that to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hashimoto's thyroiditis. You want to expound a little bit on that?
Sure, by all means. Actually, that was today's topic. I wrote a monograph on Hashimoto's autoimmune disease, which essentially is believed, at least in part, to be caused by viruses. Hashimoto's thyroid autoimmune response is really, probably, in my estimation, triggered by viruses. The parvovirus as well as herpes virus 6, have been shown to be the contributing factors, the causative agents that induce some type of a immune response, autoimmune response, I should say, in which the body starts attacking itself, and the end result is antibodies will be sent out to our thyroid gland. It's a false reporting. It is an autoimmune response. The body is attacking itself. The body is fooled, deceived to consider that the thyroid gland is some type of invasion, some type of foreign substance. Obviously, it's not. Well, the research that I've done over the years, and today was just a small measure on my part to draw light to the fact that Hashimoto's condition is, at least in part, caused by viruses. Now, many reports have been done, clinical trials have been done. And the upshot is this, people. We look at the cause and effect relationship in disease. Well, so many people who are suffering from Hashimoto's disease syndrome report that this autoimmune response has started sometime in their life. It's more prevalent with women than it is with men. And that on account of it, you have hypothyroidism. Well, again, we have to always look at the cause. What's the underlying cause? Medical science is now bearing light on this subject. The greater majority of people who are suffering from Hashimoto's have some indication, some diagnostic testing has been done to show that they are infected with either the parvovirus B19 or herpes virus 6. So, if you will, this is the smoking gun. There's, again, always a cause and effect relationship in science. And looking at this from my standpoint as a researcher with Scalar Energy, I believe there's great hope for people now who are suffering from Hashimoto's. It does appear that these two viruses are contributing factors that lead to this condition, this autoimmune response. Now, to what extent? Well, a great deal of research has to be done. I obviously cannot do this single-handedly. My point is this. I have perfected a process with Scalar Energy in which I can disassemble germs. I can break apart viruses. So, with my Scalar Energy pathogenic cleanse, that's the program that I've developed that will serve to break apart, will serve to disassemble viruses. My contention is this. If I can disassemble the parvovirus B19 as well as the herpes virus, herpes 6, that in itself will serve to either prevent or in some cases perhaps cure Hashimoto's syndrome. And I say that on account of the fact that if you can disassemble, if you can eradicate the cause of the disease, then obviously the symptoms will abate. In many cases, they'll disappear entirely. So with the process that I have, again, developed, this Scalar Energy pathogenic cleanse, I am presently treating for over 10,000 species of germs, 10,000 species of pathogens. And two of those pathogens happen to be the parvovirus B19 and herpes virus 6. Well, in so doing, when I'm treating people with Scalar Energy by way of the Scalar Energy pathogenic cleanse, amongst other diseases, amongst other conditions that I'm addressing, I'm also addressing Hashimoto's. And in so doing, I'm able, with my Scalar Energy instrument, to break apart these two viruses, to, if you will, incapacitate the viral structure, to actually disassemble the viral particles inside viruses. Well, if I do that, then the virus cannot operate. The virus is no longer alive, if you will. The virus cannot replicate itself. I have actually scrambled, I've disorganized the genetic structure of these two viruses. And if I can disorganize the geometry of the either RNA or DNA of a virus, then with that said, I can again, render that virus inoperative. So that virus is no longer able to infect anybody. We have, in a consummate fashion, if you will, by way of energy, in a consummate fashion, we have disassembled those two viruses. Now, if that's true and accurate, and I do believe it is, with the process that I've developed, then we can either prevent or in some way cure Hashimoto's. And I would say that in reference to many diseases now. And this has been borne out after years of research on my part and subsequent years of treating people. It is my conclusion that scalar energy can indeed disassemble germs. And if that's the case, then we can eradicate, we can remove the cause of pathogenic disease, the pathogen itself. Well, to me, that's just really an incredible gift from God. All of this really calls to mind how we can, in a consummate fashion, in a fundamental fashion, we can have control over disease now. So in a nutshell, today's monograph that I put out to the general population of people that I'm treating dealt with Hashimoto's. And indeed, I believe we now have the means to correct, at least in some way, or at least to mitigate the adverse effect of Hashimoto's disease. Now, just consider this. If our thyroid gland becomes infected with a virus, then perhaps our body will send out antibodies to attack those viruses that have incorporated themselves in our thyroid gland. Well, that's the mistake of our body. Our body is pinpointing our body itself. We have this autoimmune response in which antibodies are attacking the human body when they should be attacking the foreign invader, which is the virus. Well, my contention is this. If we can indeed disassemble and eradicate, remove viruses from our body, then we should not have this immune response. The body should not send out T cells to counteract any type of viral infection or any type of infection for that matter. The entire point of this is simple. If we remove pathogens from our body, then we will not have this autoimmune response. We will no longer, in many cases, have the body attacking itself. If we remove the foreign invaders, then we will not have an autoimmune response on account of the fact that antibodies will not be called upon to attack, to defend the body against pathogens. So in a rather sweeping effort on my part, if I can eradicate thousands upon thousands of pathogens from the body, then in so doing, the body will no longer send out this false signal, this false triggering, in which there is some type of autoimmune response in which the body, in many ways, is an ever-cascading series of events that the body begins to attack itself, simply by mistake, by virtue of the fact that the body doesn't realize that it's not the body that's at risk. It's the pathogen that's putting us at risk. So, long story short is, the scalar energy pathogenic cleanse that I've developed should in many ways circumvent autoimmune responses simply by virtue of the fact that we eradicate, we disassemble the germs that are the triggers, that are the very triggers for autoimmune responses.
Yes, this is an energetic type healing, and I know you studied was Tesla and Hieronymus.
Correct. Yes.
And I know that some people it's kind of like Greek to them, and I did take. I go to the VA and I have been working with the lady, my counselor, on PTSD, and she knows some trials that I've been through, especially in the past few years, and of course I've been into this energy stuff for a long time, and it's very special to me, and it's